Okay, let's actually get into it here. I don't want to linger on two of these, so if I'm going off on a rant, then stop me. Agitation, Trapper Perk. Now keep in mind, all of these I'm going to be like ranking by themselves, not, oh, well, this goes good with this goes good with this. If you put it with this, it's S tier, but if it's by itself, it's not great. Agitation, I'm going to slap right in a B tier. Okay. Could be good in some situations like Midwich perhaps, where hooks are pretty far away and annoying and everything. It's a solid choice, okay? It's not that great. Maybe we'd even put it into C tier. It's nice to have, right? And it could save you a couple of missed hooks sometimes, but it's a nice to have. Good thing you're subbed to both of us, right? Nurses Calling, I'm going to put in a solid A tier. That's a decent aura reading perk. Works really great on people who are self-carrying because it takes super, super long. And you can possibly find two people at the same time with this. So, I'm sorry. I have Smokey's hair literally all over my nose, dude. It's so itchy. Awakened Awareness. This is also probably going to go in the A tier. Nice to have. No cooldown. Works every single time you pick somebody up. Bamboozle. We're going to put Bamboozle in the B tier only because it's a nice perk. It's nice in the shack. It's really nice in the shack, but like those stupid walls with like two windows on them, you can't have both windows blocked. So it's kind of useless there. It's nice in some other places, but most of the time like survivors just jump through windows and then they just hold W. So it's good in the shack and maybe some other places, but that's it. I would say barbecue is still an S tier perk. Even without the blood point gain that everybody originally like used it for, it's literally free info every single time you hook somebody. And if you don't see the auras of all other 3 survivors, you know that they're nearby because you have to be 40 meters out for the aura read to work on this. So you know they're by, and you can kind of look around for them. Beast of Prey. Blah. That's a D tier. Moving on. Bitter Murmur. I've actually kind of really been enjoying Bitter Murmur with Ghostface. Could pair nice with Deadlock, but we're not really going to get into that stuff. We'll give it a C because it's not super great. You have to lose gens for it to activate. But it's alright. It's like a nice to have kind of thing if you can fit it in. Blood Echo. A little complex. Ow, Smoke. You have sharp claws. I'm petting you, man. I don't know what else you want. You want me to lean back in my chair, but this chair doesn't lean back. Blood Echo's a little complicated. Anybody who's injured when you hook somebody is exhausted. Yeah, we can't really get into specifics like that, though. I'm going to take too long. It's a good, solid choice. Let's give it a B. It's a little complicated, though. Bloodhound. Yucky. Or, oh, that's Bloodhound. The other one's Predator. The foot one is Predator. Sorry, Smoke. I didn't know you're moving your head that way, baby. I'm trying to pet you and I booped your snoot. Okay, bye. Blood Warden. Absolutely unnecessary perk. But very pog. This is going in like a C. Oh my god, dude. My face is covered in his hair. I can literally just feel it all over my face. It's so itchy. Brutal Strength. Especially these days. We're going to put in the B tier. It's not exactly an A tier, but it was always nice for breaking pallets. I see that. I see you in the chat, Useless. I'm going to choose to ignore that. It was always nice for breaking pallets, and now even with like the gen kick meta, it's pretty nice. I run it quite often, actually. Brine. Probably my favorite gen regression perk, honestly. 200% right off the rip. It's insane. And you get the info when somebody hits skill check on the gen. So what, you know, you got to kick gens anyway. You might as well just slap Brian on there and get double the value. Claustrophobia. If anything, it's not really for me. This, if I remember correctly, this is Demo's perk. This blocks the vault locations. Where are you going, man? Blocks the vault locations within 32 meters of completed gen. Cruel limits. But people were upset about that because, like, it was like an animal cruelty, whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the D tier. Like, it's, again, you have to lose gens for it to activate. You want to do this, just run Bamboozle yourself. Run crowd control. You know? Corrupt Intervention. Even though I'm not much of a fan, and even though it's nerfed now, I'm going to throw this in a solid A tier still. Very good early game. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm not really a fan, especially after the nerf where it goes away after you down somebody, but still, that pressure, dude. I know we're not trying to, Oh, I know a lot of people loved it. Absolutely. I'm especially not a fan after the nerf, though. I never was before, but that early game pressure, you can't deny it, man. It's too good. It's too good. Coulrophobia. This is a silly, zany perk. This is, like, literally just to fuck around with survivors, man. It's raining. It's Florida, man. Rains every day. The buff to this was nice, but at the end of the day, like, it just stops the survivors from healing, you know. We'll put this in a C. Coup de grace. This is also going in C. Could get you some nice downs that you wouldn't normally get, but there's definitely better choices for your 4 slots here. Dark Devotion. Another one that's very, like, situational. I'm going to put this in C tier. I'm not the biggest fan of Dark Devotion anyway, but Darkness Revealed. Again, depending on what's going on here. Oh, there's Mida! There's Mida! Depending on your character choice and the map, Darkness Revealed could be okay. We're going to slap the... Honestly, let's be honest, okay? The only characters you're using Darkness Revealed on are Trickster and Huntress. And maybe Dredge. Maybe Dredge. Because it doesn't proc when he teleports. In terms of Trickster and Huntress, this is an S tier perk. Okay? Anybody else, this is like a C at best. Maybe even D. Because depending on the map, depending on the killer that you have, it's absolutely useless. But Huntress, Trickster absolutely need this. It was very good. We'll get to that with Iron Maiden, I guess, too. But so where do we put it? Yeah. It's either S or D, depending on if you're a Huntress. I mean, I never use it. There's so many better aura reading perks anyway, you know? So Deadlock. Deadlock, I think, is not in terms of regression. Don't worry about it, Meta. But Deadlock is one of the best perks to slow down the game. In my opinion. Deadlock is so good. It's free. As the game goes on, like, you have to lose gens for Deadlock to work. But I think the benefit outweighs the you know, the loss of gens, because it lasts so long. It shows you the next highest progress generator. So it basically shows you where to go next. It's great. Dead Man Switch is alright. It's alright. Nothing really to say about it. If you want to use it, use it. It's serviceable for sure. Oh my god, I need to go, like, rinse my eyes out, dude. I'm still covered in his hair. He's, like, Well, he always sheds, but... Deathbound. This is a yucky perk. Nobody ever uses it. Nighty, I've been seeing a lot of Deadlock recently. It doesn't get to me a lot since I'm usually in chase. I think Deadlock is probably a contender for one of the best killer perks, honestly. It saves you so much time. Yeah, Deathbound, don't use it. Yucky. This is Deerstalker. This is not Thrill to Hunt, this is Deerstalker, yeah? Unnecessary. You don't need it. Shows you the auras of people who are crawling on the floor. Useless. Not you useless, like... Actually, like, probably F tier useless, but... I'm not gonna add a whole nother thing. Disco! Disco, especially these days. Normally I would put Disco here. You would say Disco is a B or a C. I love Disco. In current times... Well, normally I would put here. In current times, with the prevalence of Prove Thyself, dude. I'm putting Disco in S. Prove Thyself runs wild these days. This literally just tells you where they are. Love Disco. So good. Disillusion. You guys know how I feel about this perk. This is going in F tier. Hold on. I hate this. Every single time I try to use this perk, it's fucking garbage. The 3-second activations needs to go. Every single time I try to use it, somebody just vaults over something before it activates. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. And the killer that it came on is undetectable half the time. So he doesn't have a terror radius for people to vault stuff over in. Exactly, yeah. Prove is insane right now. Maybe we'll do one of these for survivors too. I don't know if I can really speak on that as much as killer stuff, but... You know. Distressing. Could be good. Again, we're not getting into situational stuff. On its own, distressing, kind of useless. On its own, realistically, distressing gives the survivors more of a warning that you're coming. But you got to pair this with other stuff that that works with your terror radius, like unnerving presence, doctor, perhaps. You know, should do survivor one for sure. I mean, I'd be curious to see actually what I think when it boils down. Dragon Script's just okay. I'm putting it in C only because I love it on Scream Ghostface, and we've seen it work. But honestly, like, it's like a high D, low C, maybe. Very situational. Yeah. Yeah, that used to be the thing. We would do Distressing, Beast of Prey, Barbecue, and then what was the third one? There's another one that gives you BP. Dying Light. Gotta be an A or a B. Honestly, Dying Light's really annoying, in my opinion. I'm not much of a Dying Light user myself, but the slowdown is kind of pretty good. We'll put it in B tier. Yeah, it's good if you need BP, but, like, who needs BP these days? Honestly, man, I'm hitting cap every single day. Enduring. On its own. No Spirit Fury, okay? Enduring on its own, we're going to put in B tier, right? Because it saves you from the dumb text sometimes. Mm-hmm. And honestly, there is a few pallets around where you can just walk around the other side. Okay? And even still, you're saving yourself some time. Yeah, because it makes Legion's terror radius bigger, yeah. I see what you're saying. Still don't understand what Dying Light does. So, everybody but the Obsession gets a negative 33% speed to their generator repair. But the Obsession does not suffer from that. And then it goes away when the Obsession dies. And you need to get stacks on it though, right? You need to hook everybody but the obsession, I think. Or is it just flat? I think you get stacks on it. Not really a fan, but the slowdown's kind of strong. Yeah, okay, so you hook everybody else but the obsession, you get stacks, yeah. Eruption. I got it. I think they're going to nerf Eruption. Honestly, dude. Eruption, definitely one of the best gen-kicking perks in the game. I prefer Call of Brian, but Eruption's insane. The issue with Eruption is the hinder, in my opinion. They could leave the damage. They could leave the cooldown. But the 30 seconds of hinder is fucking stupid, bro. Ooh, yeah. Looking, the obsession doesn't lose you a stack? Yeah. You got good taste, my friend. Fearmonger? Fearmonger's okay. Fearmonger's very prevalent, because it's universal, I guess. But, like, even still, like, everybody runs exhaustion perks. The blindness is pretty annoying to deal with. I'm going to give Fearmonger an A, honestly. You could slap Fearmonger on, like, anything and be good. Especially, I feel like, obviously, still at the very top, Dead Hard is the best. But in my opinion, Sprint Burst is probably the best exhaustion perk just for, like, ease of use. And I'm also a freak, by the way. I'm a vigil guy, you know. And this absolutely fucking destroys Sprint Burst. So, we're going to give Fearmonger an A. It's really annoying, but just, you get value all the time because they're always repairing gens. So, Fire Up. I do not like Fire Up. We're going to give Fire Up a D. Oh, yeah, because the blindness. I didn't even think about that. Shit, we're going to try Fogwise later. I didn't even think about it. Forced Penance, honestly, could be good. You have to have the right situations here. We're going to slap this in B. Could be good. Franklin's, very opinion-based. Can we get a drum roll? Where are we going to put Franklin's? Good old Spanklin's, huh? I feel like Spanklin's... Here's the thing. Medkits, in my opinion, are the best item in the game. Okay? Because if they're bringing toolboxes, right? Think about this. They're bringing toolboxes if they really want to fuck you. They'll bring brand new parts. Those will be gone at the beginning of the game, for sure. Nobody holds on to their brand new parts. If they're bringing hyper focus and stuff, they can just refresh that shit in a locker. It's going to take a little bit longer, but, you know. The other fun thing about Franklin's is when survivors stop after you hit them to pick up their item, and then you just down them immediately. As long as the survivors have items, Franklin's goes in A, for sure. You get value. Value, value, value. No items. Beautiful. We'll get into that when we get to overwhelming presence. Furtive Chase. It's a C. It's a D. The only killer that I use this on is Michael in Vanity Mirror, dude. Yeah, exactly. Nice, man. Angman's Trick? Yeah. Honestly, useless. So useless, dude. If somebody's gonna sabo you, you're gonna see them. You know? Absolutely useless. The only time that I've gotten Hangman's Trick value was when I was doing Adept Pig, and somebody happened to be, like, hiding around the corner of a wall that was behind a hook. Useless. Blood Favor, on the other hand, Blood Favor, honestly, is one of my favorite hexes. Whoops, sorry. I didn't mean to hit the mic. Yeah, I don't know what they would do to Hangman's, though. It needs something, that's for sure. It's It's a wasted slot, honestly. Here we go, crowd control. Like we said, cruel limits, not really that great. Crowd control is pretty okay. This is like Bamboozle, but Survivors proc it instead. We're going to throw this in a B tier. I don't use crowd control much, but like, you know, could be fun. People don't expect it. I feel like nobody uses crowd control. People don't expect it. Devour Hope. Easy S tier. This is actually my favorite Hex perk. For sure. Haunted Ground. On its own. Really strong, in my opinion. Especially on its own when you make the survivors think you have other hexes. Yeah, dude. That's a good idea. That's what I would change about Hangman's Trick for sure. Huntress Lullaby. This... I like this perk. Could be solid, except it always goes away too fast. Let's put Huntress Lullaby in B. Just because it's a hex. Yeah, the thing is, like, you still get the speed boost when you get your 1 and 2 stacks. You know, so... Which could go away. Yeah, that's what I feel like, man. Every single time I use Huntress Lullaby, I barely ever get 5 stacks. But when you do, it's fucking glorious. Love it. Noed? Noed's going in D tier now. Never been a fan of Noed, right? But now that they nerfed it, so people can see the aura within 24 meters, it's rough, man. Like, there's better endgame perks for sure. We'll get to those. Pentimento. Pentimento is a great fucking perk. Love it. Plaything. Plaything is also a great fucking perk. Especially together. I know we're not trying to get into that. But, like, Plaything's really good. Pentimento's really good. What else can I say? Retribution. I really like Retribution, honestly. Retribution's going right in A tier with Haunted Ground. Ruin? I gotta give Ruin a D tier. I'm sorry. I know that I like Ruin Surveillance, but, like, it's bad. It's bad. It used to be so much more. And I'm disappointed. Ruin used to be like one of the best hexes in the game, dude, for sure. Yeah. I like Plaything. I always pog out when I find mine. It'd be like me making a spreadsheet of my items. Well, I mean, we're ranking them based on like what I think their viability is. I don't know. I'm kind of... The only... Like, we're not trying to get into specifics. I like it with Surveillance. But the 100% regression... And it goes away when you kill somebody. Not really a fan. Third Seal. Could be kind of interesting, except I think for blindness, Fearmonger just does this better because survivors are always on gens. It is nice, though, that you only have to hit somebody. You don't have to down them. You don't have to hook them. But for blindness, I think Fearmonger does best, and you can't cleanse Fearmonger, so... Yeah, that's true. But I think at this point, with the lowered regression, survivors can, like, really just power through. I feel like that's what's been happening to me when I use it lately. Thrill the Hunt. This is like a nice-to-have kind of thing. This is the other perk that gives you blood points, by the way. You need to use this with other hexes, though, you know? We'll give it a C. Could be useful. Could actually save your ass if you're, like, really trying to get that 5th Devour stack or something. Could be nasty with Pentimento. What is it? Is it 3 stacks or 4 stacks for Totem Cleansing on Pentimento? Yeah, it does. It does. It takes super long to bless. Like, you don't even want to try that with this going. Undying. Undying is great. Love it. Like, it's a staple. You need it with hexes, you know? And the aura reading when people are around dull totems is nice. This is Hoarder, not Plunderer's Instinct. Again, very situational. Need to use this on, like, Nemesis or Wesker. Or somebody with Franklin's, but we're not getting into that shit. On its own... This isn't a D tier. Hysteria. Again, another one of those things. This is like Blood Echo, kind of, but for obliviousness. So whenever you hit somebody from healthy, everybody who's injured gets oblivious. And I think there's better, like, Plaything by itself is just miles better than Hysteria. Oh yeah, it's the game. I'm all ears. This is a good aura reading perk, honestly. There's some better choices, but, like, if you can fit it in, if you have an extra spot, this is pretty nice. We'll put it in a B tier. Infectious Fright. Could be really useful against, like, flashlight squads. Maybe rats even. We'll give Infectious a B as well. Insidious. Insidious is just fun and goofy, man. I've never, like, put it to serious good use. Besides, like, sitting in the basement with Leatherface, you know? Goofing around with Ghostface, literally just trying to scare streamers. Unfortunately, I don't think Insidious has any real value, man. You have to stop. You have to stop. When, realistically, you could just spend that time that you stand still for 2 seconds to proc it and then wait for the survivor to come to you. You know, could just be chasing them. You know? Iron Grass. Where do we put Agitation? In C? On its own, Iron Grasp is a nice thing to have. Just like Agitation. Iron Maiden, again. This is another thing. This is like a absolute S tier. Huntress, Trickster. Honestly, we'll put it in B because the Expose is nice. If you get some sneaky motherfuckers trying to hide in lockers. Insidious does if you know how to use it. It can confuse people in jungle gyms. I gotta try it, man. Maybe we'll move that someday. That's actually a good point. Yeah, it's alright. It's just alright. The good survivors, like, once they notice you have it, they're like, no. Yeah, exactly. And it absolutely destroys flashbang guys. It destroys built to last guys. Hyper focus is insane right now. Jolt. I'm gonna give Jolt an S here. There's no question about it. I love Jolt. Knockout. Not to get into specifics, but again, against flashlight squads, the reduced recovery time could be nice. Buy you just a little bit more time to try to bait and get those flashlight guys down. Otherwise, knockout's like a D tier. It's very situational. The only other thing it does is it doesn't show the aura of the survivor that went down to everybody else. Maybe we'll move it into C. Just because, like, maybe you can get a cheeky... Like, the exit gate is open. Oh my god, the guys are going to crawl out. But no, they crawl 50% slower because of knockout. And you actually guarantee the last 2 hooks. But I don't know. Yeah, counter's unbreakable. That's a good point. Yeah, it's alright. It's just alright. We'll put it in B tier. Lethal Pursuer. I love this perk. I think it's an S tier perk. Even still, this is like... this. You know how I said I don't like corrupt intervention for the early game pressure? This also gives you early game pressure because it shows you where the dudes are, but now you get the extra aura read time as well. Love it. Absolutely love lethal. It's so good. Okay, this one has dark eyes. This is Lightborn. Because this is alphabetical list. That's how I knew that. Lightborn. Unnecessary. Honestly unnecessary. Just look at a wall, forehead. Just look down, forehead. I gotta say, though, it comes in clutch sometimes. It comes in absolutely clutch sometimes. Against, like, the only reason you would bring this is if, like, all 4 dudes have flashlights. Even still, you can just look at a wall. Even still, you can just bait them. Even still, you can just look down. I don't care, man. It's nice. The aura read is like 10 seconds anyway if they try to blind you. It's insane. Mad Grit. We're going to slap that right next to Lightborn. Nice to have. Good for body blocks. Good for Sabo guys. Honestly, I got to give Mad Grit some more credit. Honestly. I know I just fuck around with, like, Awaken Awareness and Iron Grasp and shit. But it does have its place. Honestly, it does have its place. Make your choice. Exposes somebody when they unhook if you're far enough away. Situational. We'll give it a C. Saves are easier now? Yeah, I haven't tried. I forgot that they did that. That's a good point. I might actually throw a flashlight on today. Who knows? How much more of these we got? Just a few? Okay. Merciless Storm? Merciless Storm is alright. Honestly, I prefer this over Tinkerer, in my opinion, to show you when a gen's about to be done. But that's just me. Monitor and Abuse. It's alright. The FOV thing can kind of make you feel weird, though, so... maybe use with caution. Nemesis. You get stunned. The person who stuns you becomes your obsession, and they become oblivious for 60 seconds. Oh, because they just dump it. Yeah. Ooh. That's a good point. Maybe we... I don't know. I don't know how many people are going to be using potential energy yet, so... I'm going to leave it an A. I like it. No Way Out. S tier endgame perk. The best endgame perk, in my opinion. Oppression. I like Oppression. This is like a nice to have thing, though. The cooldown's too long, in my opinion. Honestly, I'm going to put Oppression in D tier. I like it. But that's just me. Overcharge. Overcharge is another S tier for sure. The unholy trinity. Hold on. There we go. Oh, there it is. Overwhelming Presence. This is Franklin's, but for your terror radius, basically. Dudes spend more charges of their items. This is kind of worthless, honestly. Just use Franklin's, man. Wait, it's 100 seconds? No, I thought it was 80 seconds. Overcharge by itself is B tier. That's true. I'm of the opinion that you could use any one of these and really get away with it. I know we're not trying to get into, like, the stack together. Yeah, it's 120 seconds tier 1, and then it's 100 tier 2. I thought it was 80 seconds at tier 3. I'm going to go grab some more water after this, and then we're going to get into the games, okay? I know this is taking a long, long time. I'm sorry. Play with your food. Fun, perhaps. I know people are going to tear me apart for that one. Not particularly useful, especially depending on your killer choice, because the stacks do go away when you use your power as well. If it was only on basic attacks, that would change a whole lot. But Legion would go insane with this if it was only on basic attacks. I don't like it, though. The 15% speed boost at 3 stacks is nice, but you're never going to stay at 3 stacks, you know? Unless you're, you know, Tombstone Michael. But again, situational. Pop? Pop's bad. Don't use pop. They nerfed it into the ground. Terrible. This is Foot Perk. That's going in F. You don't need it. Rancor. It's free Bloodlust? I guess, yeah. I don't like how easy it is to lose the stacks, man. That's all. Yeah, we're trying to perk tier list here. Just see what I think. I feel like my opinions aren't going to be that great, though. You know? But everybody's got different opinions, I guess. And I'm trying to, like, slam through these real quick, so I'm not really thinking about situational stuff. I'm just thinking, like, kind of on their own. Rancor. Rancor's okay. It nearly guarantees you at least 1 kill. Yeah. I think there's definitely better choices. I think my S tier is looking solid. You would put it at C? I can't stand it since they nerfed it, man. Fire up should be S. You bring it, you automatically win. Yeah, it actually just fires up the survivors' computers and then they crash out of the game. Easy win. Remember Me could be okay. It used to not work if you close the hatch, but now it works. Oh yeah, you said that in the Discord. Yeah, Rancor. I didn't know that, actually. I wasn't much of a Rancor guy before, unless I was like actually trying to do something specific with it. That's good. I like that. That's how it should be. Think about this. Remember Me. You just kill the obsession and everybody else has slower gates. We'll put it in C tier. I still, No Way Out. Ultimate endgame perk, though, for sure. Yeah. Save the best for last. S tier. Don't even come at me. Floods of Rage, also S tier. We put Barbecue in S tier. This is like Floods of Rage's cousin. Who's Barbecue's cousin. They're having a little family barbecue, dude. Gift of Pain. Annoying. Where did we put Dying Light? B tier? This is going to go in B tier with Dying Light, because you do get the slowdown if, you know, if they heal. And then if not, they're hemorrhaged and mangled anyway, so they have a hard time healing. Barbecue should be Scourge, but, maybe. Disillusion should not be F tier, like C tier minimum. I hate it. I hate it. Every single time I use it, I never get it to work. Always hit somebody, and then they vault over something before the 3-second activation. If it didn't, if it had even just maybe a 1-second activation, I would reconsider. Monstrous Shrine. That's a good idea, Milk Vivo. Ooh, I never thought about it on Clown. That could be kind of sweet, actually, man. Maybe that'll change my mind. Floods was behavior having a new feature and wanting to use it on something. Yeah, honestly. Hey guys, look. Scourge hooks, huh? They're shiny and white. We got a few. Yeah, I might have to try that, man. Monstrous Shrine. Again, I like it, but there's better choices, I think. Let's put it in the D tier. Realistically, survivors aren't going to let you have it. You think it's C? I want to put it in C, but, like, survivors just aren't going to let you have it. I guess it does ultimately put pressure on them, causing them to act sooner. So, yeah, let's leave it in C tier. You know, Like, they're gonna come get the guy off the hook, but that's because the timer's ticking down fast. So. This. My precious, precious pain resonance. This, I should have told that guy specifically in the YouTube comments. This right here, this is my #1 choice for the best killer perk in the game. Does so much damage. Basically, unless you're like killing people on your scourges and they disappear, you can basically proc this every time you hook somebody. Hits the most progressed generator. You get the scream. Hopefully you can pinpoint where they are. Do it with Dead Man Switch. I know we're not trying to get into perk combos, but like, Pain Res is just great. It does so much damage. It still gives you information. Love it. Septic Touch. Dog shit perk. Don't use it. This is Shadowborn. Shadowborn's S tier. Don't come at me. Honestly, this is literally does nothing for you except make the game feel nicer. Okay? So, if Shadowborn does make the game feel nicer for you, sure, it's an S tier perk. If you don't care, and Shadowborn does not make the game feel nicer for you, it's an F tier perk. Yeah. Pain Res is so good, dude. It's still worse than Deadlock. I would disagree. Both of them together are fucking nuts, though, man. Let's see. Maybe I'm going to rearrange it. Definitely Pain Res, Deadlock for top 2, for sure. Shattered Hope. Very situational. Boons are really prevalent, though. Not even for the aura read, but for the ability to destroy boons. Yeah, I mean, if I had it my way, it would look like this. There we go. I'm complete. I don't care. But that's just me. That's just me. I'm just a guy. Sloppy. Sloppy goes in A tier, for sure. Sloppy's so annoying. Every single hit, you hemorrhage and mangle, and it makes them waste all their time healing. It's fantastic. Love it. Spies. Spies low-key underrated. If you don't have anything better, like if you're still new, Spies is a universal perk. This can take you a long way. The only thing I would suggest is the tier 1 and tier 2 are really, really short range. So get it to tier 3 before you use it. Spirit Fury. Ooh, boy. Remember, we're talking about on their own. We put Enduring in B tier because it can save you from the dumb techs and stuff. You get some nice grabs and shit. Spirit Fury, I think still goes in B tier, just on its own, right? If we were to put both of these together, Enduring Spirit Fury is S tier. But we're not doing that. You still get a little bit of a delay. You know, the normal, if you're just using Spirit Fury. Normal stun duration, but then there's still, you just smack them. It's great. Starstruck. Starstruck is strong. Starstruck's kind of... I'm not a Starstruck enjoyer, but dude, I can see it, honestly. Maybe A. Maybe we're gonna tone it down to an A. Yeah, I want to try that. I'm working on a bunch of videos right now that are gonna be like YouTube exclusive thing. Yeah, using all the Knight's new perks is what I'm doing. So, Enduring Spirit Fury Hubris is definitely what I'm going for. Stridor. Iron Will basically does not exist anymore, so Stridor goes in D tier. Potentially F, maybe. You don't need it. You don't need it. Trickster doesn't have a bad perk, does he? What do we got? Crowd Control, Starstruck, and what's Trickster's other perk? Am I drunk? Oh, No Way Out is Trickster's perk. Yeah, No Way Out is one of Trickster's. Yeah. I forget that all the time. It's so good. Superior anatomy. Nice to have, but not really anything special, in my opinion. Surveillance. I like surveillance a lot. I'm going to slap surveillance in B tier. It's nice. Terminus. Terminus goes in A tier. Terminus is the better version of Noed. How about that, huh? Because even if you damage somebody, after all the gens have gone, they get broken. You know, it's not like they have to be injured, and then the last gen pops, and everybody who's injured then becomes broken. No, even if you injure somebody after that, they get broken. It's great. And then that lasts for 30 seconds after the gates are open, I believe, so... Insane endgame perk, honestly. Really, really good. I like that a lot more than Noed. Territorial Imperative. Oh, and Adrenaline, yes! I knew that, but I forgot about that in this moment. I think I'm going to leave it in A tier, though. Because I know Adrenaline is super popular. That kind of makes me want to bump it up to S, but I think it's a very high A. Territorial Imperative, useful. Yeah, it's useless. It's useless. You have to be far away from the basement anyway, and then it just shows you the aura of the person in the basement. Useless. Thana. Thana's still annoying and strong. Not as good as it was, but like for, you know, slow down, hey. And I feel like Thana gets under the survivor's skin, you know? Every time I see this pop up, I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, here we fucking go. Thrilling Tremors. I'm going to put Thrilling Tremors in A tier. I love this perk. Yeah, yeah. Even on Legion, too. I was never a Thana Legion guy. But it's powerful. Thrilling Tremors is great. It's like, I just like it, man. What else is there to say? I just like it. Also just tells you where to go. Like Disco. Except when you pick people up. It's great. Tinkerer. I'm not really a fan of Tinkerer, but I still have to, you know, real recognizes real. Tinkerer is still okay. Trail of Torment. Useful. But survivors can see the gen that you kick. So they know which direction you're coming from at least. But even still, I like Trail of Torment sometimes. Unnerving, this is like a nice to have thing. Nothing special. Unrelenting, you don't need it. Whispers, if you have nothing better. And Zanshin Tactics. I can't use this perk. It's info overload, dude. Even though I'm like an avid Windows of Opportunity guy, I can't do it on Killer. Honestly, dude, I would even put this in the F tier. I don't like it. Maybe the only, like, because here's the thing. If you're in a jungle gym and you can see that there's a pallet up, what are you gonna fucking do? You know, either just like swing into it and get hit anyway, or you know that the pallet's already broken. So I guess that's it. How's our S tier looking? That's what I'm really interested in. S and A tier. I'd say I'm happy with that. We're not going to do a Survivor one right now because we're already halfway through the stream because I'm a fucking idiot, but I'm glad we did this, I guess. I'm pretty happy with how my S tier and my A tier look, for sure. Interesting that Franklin's is in there. Franklin's is like the standout of A tier, but like that's another one. I feel like that's another one that gets under the survivor's skin, you know? It really makes you like, oh my god, it puts them on tilt, you know? Way worse. Yeah, just looking at my S tier, dude, thinking about just slapping 4 of these perks in there and calling it a day. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Put Unrelenting on D. You call me out? You call me out like this as an unrelenting enjoyer? What did I even use it on? I can't remember what I used it on. Oh, it was when I did it was when Peaches told me to do literally the worst perks that I could think of in a build. Oh man, I'm gonna go grab some water. I'm happy with this, honestly. I'm happy with this.